Hey friends, this is Brad from SaddleRock Sports. It's almost playoff time here in Colorado, and I don't know about you, but I'm thinking a lot about playoffs. Where could our teams potentially go? I'm thinking about it from a broadcast perspective, from an athletic director perspective, from a parent of a player perspective, and there's so much information out there, so many variables of where we could go, who we might play, who we could host, that I needed a way to analyze all of that data quickly and efficiently, and I want to share that tool with you. So here it is, the SaddleRock Sports Bracketology Spreadsheet. Now this is a free spreadsheet that's open and available to anybody. All you've got to do is click on the link in this video description, whether it's in Facebook or on YouTube, and it's going to let you open this file and see all of the data for 1A and 2A guys and girls playoff brackets. Now again, the brackets aren't officially set, but this is taking all of the data from the CHASA Selection and Seeding Index and compiling it quickly and visually in a way that hopefully will help you decipher some of the stuff that's out there and figure out where your team might be going and who they might be playing. So let's just jump right in. When you open the file, you're going to see there are several tabs along the bottom. It starts out with the men's 1A bracket, then the ladies 1A bracket, men's 2A, and then ladies 2A. This is the heart and soul of where it is. Okay. Here's how you use each bracket's worth of information. Each regional tournament is broken down and kind of separated by itself. The host team is in yellow. For example, here in region number 1, go to the number 1 seed, and for 1A boys right now, that's McClave. The 4 teams that would play there would be Springfield, Nucla, and Hawley. All right, similarly down here, region 8. Currently, that would be Flatirons in the number 8 seed, and Sangre de Cristo, Stratton, and Eads would end up traveling there. Now, for each team, if you read across, you're going to learn some interesting things about that team and where they sit. The first, you'll see what league they play in. Secondly, you'll see the team above them. Now, in Stratton's case, they're the number 1 seed. There is no seed above them, so there's no data right there. But let's look here at Springfield. The team above them would be Miami Yoder in the number 31 spot. The team below them, just outside of the bubble, would be Uray in the number 33 spot. You're also going to see a bunch of other colors here that help you decide what could happen to that position. And basically, you're going to see reds and greens. Greens mean that there is a lot of distance mathematically between that position and the position next to it. So for example, here, McClave in the number 1 spot, the number 2 spot in the team below them is Otis, and they're a very dark green. That means there's a lot of mathematical space between the number 1 and the number 2 seed right now. So in my opinion, there's not going to be a lot of movement there. It's a relatively safe position. So Otis is not likely going to overtake McClave into the number 1 spot. So that's what greens mean. And the lighter the color means the less significant value. So dark green means very safe. Middle green is less safe. Light green, still safe, but not as safe as the others. Not that they're getting bumped out, but positionally safe. Reds are the other opposite. Let's look. Here's a great example here with number 16, Nucla. The team above them is DeBeck in the number 15 spot, and right below them is Hawley. But look at the dark red here of DeBeck. The mathematical difference between Nucla and DeBeck, 16 and 17, is only 0.000706. That is this close, and that could easily flip-flop. If you look around, you'll see some other darker colors all over this graph that show there could be a lot of mathematical swapping in the next couple days of those very, very close teams. Okay, so dark red means your position could change either up or down, or it's likely that it will. Dark green means you're safe, and the lighter the color, the more towards the middle your team is. So a couple other interesting things that colors signify here on this spreadsheet. You'll see some blues. Right here is a great example. Down here in region number 4, Denver Waldorf and Denver Jewish Day are set to square off against each other. But you'll see here they're both in the same league. So if it's blue, they're in the same league. And we know that what CHASA will do is take that lower seed here, Denver Jewish Day, probably bump them down to the number 21 or 22 spot and bring someone else into there. So this quickly lets you see, hey, are we facing? Is it a league opponent? If so, well, they're probably going to get bumped, or they could get bumped. Again, there's still a lot of basketball to play, and a lot of stuff could happen. So let's look at a couple other examples just so you understand it a little more. Let's look at Region 7, where the Kim Branson Mustangs play. I'm a AD for Branson. My son plays on the team, so I have a vested interest in what happens there. Currently, they're sitting at number 7, likely going to host a regional tournament. Denver Academy of Torah would be there, as would Pete's and Sherrah. Now look at Kim Branson's team above comparison. You'll see it's relatively dark red. Elbert is in the number 6 spot. That's pretty close, 0.003332 difference. That's really tiny between Kim Branson and Elbert. Kim Branson could jump up into that number 6 spot. It's kind of likely. Flatirons, however, the team below them in the number 8 spot is 0.0119, a much bigger mathematical difference below them than above them for the Kim Branson Mustangs. So there you have it, the SaddleRock Sports Bracketology Spreadsheet for 2025. Use this however you would like. You can find your place in the potential bracket. You can analyze where you could potentially travel to, or who might potentially be traveling to your host location, who you might be squaring up directly, or a little bit of play in the bracket who you could potentially be matching up with if there's a little movement up or down in your bracket position. If you found this useful, please go ahead and share this with other coaches, other athletic directors, maybe just sports families that might want to try to plan what they're doing a little bit. I will update this multiple times throughout the day, and remember, you can always look right up here at the top. You'll see when I've updated that. Have fun. If you have any questions, shoot me a message on Facebook, and that's the best way to get in touch with me. Have fun. This is going to be a fun playoff season, I think. We'll see you at the next ball game.